Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Aganda Timarandasya Ganajana Shivakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tajma Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. The following video series is a summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam was translated into English by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Also included are his in-depth commentaries known as purports. These purports unpack the often complex and symbolic language of the text, make it understandable to a wider audience. The Srimad Bhagavatam, also known as the Bhagavata Purana, is considered the most important of sacred scriptures. Composed around 5,000 years ago, it is considered the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic literature and the original commentary on the Vedanta-sutra. The author of Srimad Bhagavatam is Srila Vyasadeva. He is also the compiler of the Vedas, classified as a Purana, a vast genre of ancient stories and knowledge encompassing history, philosophy, and spiritual teachings. Srimad Bhagavatam includes stories of avatars, creation narratives, lives of saints and sages, philosophy discourses, and practical guidance for spiritual life. Divided into 12 cantos with over 18,000 verses covering 10 subject matters. 1. The elemental creation. 2. The secondary creation. 3. The planetary systems. 4. Protection by the Lord. 5. The creative impetus. 6. Manvatars. 7. The science of God. 8. The dissolution. 9. Liberation. And 10. The supreme shelter. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, chapter 25, text 143 and 144, Lord Chaitanya, speaking to Prakrisananda Saraswati, tells him, translation, the meaning of the Vedanta-sutra is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. The full purport of the Mahabharata is also there. The commentary of the Bhagavad Gayatri is also there and fully expanded with all Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the Supreme Purana. It was compiled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His incarnation as Vyasadeva. There are 12 cantos, 335 chapters, and 18,000 verses. Canto 2, chapters 1 through 5. Chapter 1. The first step in God realization. Sukadeva Goswami glorifies Maharaj Parikshit's question, which he spoke at the end of Canto 1. I am therefore begging you, Sukadeva Goswami, to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially for one who is about to die. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. Sukadeva, in answer to that question, glorifies hearing Krishna Katha and explains that the highest perfection of life, regardless of the process one uses, is to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the end of life. Therefore, he explains the topmost transcendentalists take pleasure in always describing the glories of the Lord. Sukadeva continues to describe how he studied the Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, Srila Vyasadeva, at the end of the Dwapara Yuga. Although he was already situated on the transcendental platform, he still became attracted by the Bhagavatam's description of the Lord's pastimes. Sukadeva tells Parikshit Maharaj that he will now recite the Srimad Bhagavatam. He then glorifies the Bhagavatam, saying, one who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord. And further, that constantly chanting the Lord's holy names is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all. A verse from chapter 1, text 11. irtan nirvidyamananam ichatam akuto bayam yoginam nipanir nitam harir namanukirtanam. Translation. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Chapter 2. The Lord in the Heart. One should serve the Supersoul, who is within one's heart and who is eternal, unlimited, and the ultimate goal of life. By worshiping Him, one becomes free from conditioned existence. Only the materialist will neglect such thinking, especially after seeing that the mass of people have fallen into the river of fruitive work. Sukadeva Goswami explains the path that yogis follow when trying to leave this world. He explains, to leave this world, a yogi should be fixed in absolute realization and thus extinguish all material desires. He should give up his body to yoga practice, while slowly pushing his life air upward from his navel to his heart. From there, the life air should be pushed to the chest, and from the chest to the root of the palate, and finally to the cerebral hole. He should then give up all material connections and go to the Supreme. Sukadeva Goswami continues to describe that this knowledge is exactly in accordance with the Vedic version, and that it is described personally by Lord Krishna unto Brahma. After hearing of the difficult and intricate path to the spiritual world through the practice of yoga, Sukadeva describes a different yet most auspicious means of deliverance: direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. That path was established by Lord Brahma as the actual Vedic goal, developing an attraction for Lord Krishna. One should thus adopt the direct method of hearing about Krishna, and after becoming purified, enter into the kingdom of God and serve Him through devotional service. A verse from chapter 2, text 37. Pitvanti ye bhagavat atmana satam kasham ritam sarvana pretu samritam punanti te visaya vidushi sasam vrajanti takcharanam saro ruhantitam. Translation. Those who drink through oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as the material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. Chapter 3. Pure Devotional Service, the Change in Heart. Sri Sukadeva Goswami explained that he has now answered Pariksit Maharaj's questions as to the duty of one on the threshold of death. A thoughtful person should hear Krishna Katha. One desiring spiritual advancement and knowledge should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotees, and one desiring no material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But a person with broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Transcendental knowledge about Lord Hari suspends the whirlpools of the material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment. Being transcendental, it is approved by all authorities. Sanaka replies and inquires about the further question of Maharaj Pariksit after he had heard the conclusions spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. He then expressed his own eagerness to hear the Krishna Katha spoken by these two great devotees, Pariksit Maharaj, who was devoted to Krishna from his childhood, and Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, who was full of knowledge. The greatest philosophers are those who get pleasure from glorifying Krishna in the company of great devotees. After glorifying the process of devotional service and condemning those who do not engage in devotional service, Sanaka Rishi requests Suta Goswami to relate what was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami in response to the questions of Maharaj Pariksit. A verse from chapter 3, text 10. Akama sarvo kamova moksha kama udaradihi trivena bhakti yogena yajeta purusam param. Translation. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desire in liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Chapter 4. The Process of Creation. Maharaj Pariksit requests Sukadeva to answer 3 questions. 1. How does the Lord create the universes which are inconceivable? 2. How does the Lord engage his energies and expansions in maintaining and destroying the universes? 3. Does the one Lord himself direct the modes of nature, or does he do this work through his expansions? Suta Goswami begins describing the reply of Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva first remembered the Lord and then offered his respectful obeisances unto him, who is the complete whole and the inconceivable Lord residing within all. He offers his obeisances to the Lord again and glorifies him as the one awarding success to great philosophers, performers of charity, and chanters of Vedic hymns, due to their dedicating their attempts to his service. The Lord is so powerful, the Supreme Pure, and thus anyone can be purified by taking shelter of his devotees. Further requesting the Lord's mercy, Sukadeva acknowledges that it is the Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna who gives liberation. Simply by thinking of him while following the path of authorities, a devotee can see the absolute truth. Sukadeva Goswami requests that same Lord who has inspired Brahma with knowledge to decorate his statements. He then offers obeisances to Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Vasudeva, the compiler of Vedic scriptures. Sukadeva begins his reply to Pariksit Maharaj by saying that the firstborn Lord Brahma answered these same questions upon being asked by his son Narada. A verse from chapter 4 is text 15. Yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yat iksanam, yat vandanam, yat charpanam, yat arhanam. Lokashya sadyo vihunote kalmasam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer. Chapter 5. The Cause of All Causes. Sukadeva Goswami narrates how Sri Narada Muni approached Lord Brahma and offered his obeisances. Narada then inquires about knowledge that directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the supersoul. He then asks many questions about the material world, its background, its creation and maintenance, the source of Brahma's own knowledge and protection, and for whom does Brahma work. Lord Brahma replies that unless one is able to perceive the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will surely be an illusion. Brahma then continues to describe that he is only able to create after the Lord has created. Lord Brahma then, therefore, offers his obeisances and meditates upon Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the Personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences the less intelligent to think of him as supreme. It is Maya, Brahma explains, that bewilders all into being absorbed in thoughts of it is I and it is mine. Brahma explains that it is the Lord who creates the ingredients of creation and sets them in motion. The Vedas are meant for his pleasure, as are the demigods, planets, and sacrifices. All variety of meditation, austerity, culture of knowledge are means for realizing him. Brahma says that he too is created by him, and by his inspiration he discovers that which has already been created by the Lord. A verse from chapter 5, text 18. Sattvam rajas tama iti nirgunasya gunastraya striti sarga niroteshu grihita mayaya vibho. Translation. The Supreme Lord is pure spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities, yet for the sake of the creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, he accepts through his external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance.